Hi friend, welcome back. I am so happy you're here. If you're new, I am Annie, a wedding and portrait photographer based outside of Seattle, Washington. Today we are discussing all the questions you need to be asking your wedding vendors as you begin your booking process. I got married myself last summer, so I have been through it and went through this exact process that you are going through right now. So I am so excited to share these questions to help you connect and understand your wedding vendors on a whole different level. Okay, I have my questions in front of me. If you see me peeking down, that's why. Let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna start with venues. Venues are probably one of the first things you're looking at to book just because you need your venue in order to book a date, in order to book everything else. So here are some top questions to ask your venue, either through email or on your tour. Number one, what time can we access the venue on our wedding day for setup and breakdown? This is also important to note. Are they providing people to set up the chairs, tables, decorations, or will you and your team need to do that? Number two, are there any restrictions on decorations, music, or noise levels? A lot of venues will have a cutoff of 10 or 11 p.m. for music and noise. So if you're wanting your party to last all night, make sure your venue can accommodate that. Number three, do you have a backup plan for bad weather? So in Washington State, if you're planning your wedding in Washington, you know the weather can be so unpredictable. So having an indoor option or a tent is crucial, just in case, important to have a backup plan. Number four, what is your policy on cancellations and postponements? We all know 2020, this is happening left and right. So just knowing what your options are in case of a cancellation or postponement are important. Number five, is there on-site parking for your guests? If there is not, you can hire a transportation service like school buses, party buses to get your guests safely from one point to your wedding. Number six, do you have a preferred caterer or list of approved vendors? This was important for us because our venue only had 3 preferred caterers that we had to choose from. So if you have a specific caterer or vendor in general that you really want to use for your wedding day, be sure that the venue can accommodate working with them. Next up, we have questions for caterers. Number one, what type of food and beverage packages do you offer? There are so many different caterers out there who offer a wide variety of food options, so if you have a specific favorite, be sure to reach out to them. Number two, can you accommodate dietary restrictions? If you have people you're inviting to your wedding who you know are vegetarian or dairy-free or vegan, it's important to make sure your caterer can accommodate and provide meals that they can eat. Number three, what is your service style? Plated, buffet, or family style? If you have a specific vision of how you want your food to be served, this is important to note. Number four, do you provide bartenders and bar service? If not, then you will have to find people to come and do this for you. And there are usually a lot of licenses and permits that you will need to acquire as well for this. So be sure to get a clear answer from your caterer on which direction you will need to go. Number five, what is your policy on leftover food and beverages? Do you get to take it home? Is it just all tossed? And number six, can you provide sample menus for tasting? Having a tasting of your wedding food, one, is just so fun, like make a fun little date out of it. But two, is also so important to know, like, what's your food actually gonna taste like? It might look great, but does it taste great? So be sure to set up a tasting with your caterers to make sure that you are happy with the quality and the taste of the food. Next, we have questions for photographers. Hi, that's me. I get questions all the time and I love to answer them and make it very clear as to what you will be getting and who you will be working with. So, number one, what is your style of photography? Is it photojournalistic, traditional, artistic, documentary? What's the style? Usually you'll be able to tell a photographer's style based on their portfolio, their website, but it's fun to inquire and ask them just to kind of get an idea of where they're at as the artist. Two, do you offer packages with varying coverage times and deliverables? A lot of photographers have different packages varying on coverage times, like a 6, 8, and 10-hour package. Some offer different deliverables with that as well, like film photography, obviously digital photography, albums, prints, all of that jazz. So what's included in each package? Number three, will you edit photos and how long will it take to receive them? What kind of editing are they doing after your wedding day? And what's the process like for you to receive them? Number four, do you have experience photographing weddings at our venue? So have they shot at your venue before? Have they never been there? Have they heard of it? What's their familiarity with your venue? Number 5, do you offer engagement sessions or wedding portraits? Engagement sessions are photos taken before your wedding day to kind of celebrate this engagement season. It's perfect to use for your invitations, save the dates, decorations. It's also a wonderful time to connect with your photographer and get comfy in front of the camera. Always suggest taking engagement photos. They're so much fun. And then wedding portraits are photos in your wedding attire. So most of the time, there's not enough time in your wedding day timeline to get a full hour session in your wedding attire. So I love offering either day before or after your wedding, getting all dressed up again, going someplace super epic or super special, and taking more portraits in your wedding attire. Number 6, very important. Can you show me examples of your portfolio that match our wedding style? So as you're browsing your photographer's website, you should be able to get a general idea if their style will match your ultimate wedding vision. If you want to see more, ask to view a full wedding gallery. That way you can get the full picture of how your wedding day could come together. Questions for videographers. Alrighty, number 1, what type of video coverage do you offer? Highlights, full ceremony and reception, documentary style. This is very important to know what your vision is for your wedding day video. Do you want a full film? Do you want a short highlight video? Depending on your needs, make sure that your videographer can obviously get that. Number 2, will you be working with a second videographer? So as a photographer, I love having a second shooter there with me on a wedding day to get multiple angles, different variety for your wedding day gallery. So same applies to video. Will they have a second videographer to get even more variety for your wedding day film? Number 3, what audio equipment do you use to capture sound? Number 4, do you offer drone footage or other add-on services? Number 5, how long will it take to receive the edited video? And number 6, can you show me examples of your video work that match our wedding style? So coming back to style, does your photographer, videographer, florist, all of the visual elements for your wedding day, do they understand your vision? Do you trust that they can capture it in the way that you want your day to feel and look? Questions for DJs or musicians. There's multiple options you could go with, a live band or a DJ. So here are important questions to ask. Number 1, what type of music do you play? Number 2, can you cater to our specific song requests? This was huge for our wedding day. We had multiple playlists that we spent hours working on that we really wanted to play throughout our wedding. So if you have special songs that you really want to play at your wedding day, be sure that they will take that into consideration and explain how special and important that is to you. Number 3, do you have experience playing at weddings similar to ours? So what is their experience? How long have they been in the industry? What kind of events have they done before? Number 4, do you provide lighting and sound equipment? So what kind of equipment do they bring to set the atmosphere with their sound? What kind of lights do they bring for the dance floor, etc.? Number 5, do you take song requests from guests? So almost at every wedding, I see people going up to the DJ requesting for certain songs. Is this something that they can accommodate? Is this something that you want? With our DJ, they kind of gave us the option of like, what do you want us to say when people come up and request a song? And can we play that song? Would you prefer that they don't? If it's not on your list, do you want us to say no? So communicate what your vision is for that and if you want requests to be taken. Number 6, can you meet with us beforehand to discuss our musical preferences? So with our DJ, they gave us a form to fill out listing each song for each part of the day, and then we had a phone call to go over it all, make sure we were on the same page. So I think it's so important to communicate, be on the same page, go over everything to make sure everything runs smoothly. Some questions for your officiant, whether you are having a friend or a family member officiate, or if you're hiring a professional officiant. These are important questions to go over. Number 1, what kind of ceremony do you perform? Religious, interfaith, civil? Important to note if you have a specific vision in mind for your ceremony. Number 2, do you offer premarital counseling? Also important if that's something you're really wanting to do before you get married. Number 3, will you work with us to write our vows? A lot of professional officiants offer vow writing courses or vow writing assistance. So if you think you'll need that, it's important to note. Number 4, can you meet with us beforehand to discuss our vision for the ceremony? Number 5, do you have any specific requirements for marriage paperwork? So will you have to send in your marriage license? Will they handle it? What's the process going to look like after the wedding, getting you officially legally married? Questions for florists. Flowers can really elevate and bring to life your wedding decor. So having a specific vision and trusting your florist to bring it to life is needed. Number 1, what type of flowers do you recommend for our season and wedding theme? So have a vision board or some sort of inspiration for your overall wedding day feel that you want. And your florist can help build a little mood board to kind of help you understand what flowers will work for your season and for your overall vision. Number 2, can you create bouquets, boutonnieres, centerpieces, and other floral arrangements that you will need for your wedding day? Think like big floral arch behind your ceremony site, or your bouquets, your boutonnieres for the guys to wear, corsages for maybe your parents, if that's important to you. What kind of services do they offer, right? Number 3, do you offer delivery and setup services? Is this included in the overall package, or is that an extra fee? Number 4, what is your cancellation policy? And number 5, can you show me examples of your floral work that match our wedding style? Questions for hair and makeup artists. So, number 1, what is your standard rate for bridal hair and makeup? Number 2, do you offer trials? If so, what is the cost and what's included? I highly suggest doing a hair and makeup trial just so you know what you will look like and how you will feel. I did this and it was so helpful because there were little things that in the trial I wanted to tweak for my big day that I didn't quite like, that I wanted to fix and change. So having that trial really allowed me to see the vision, allowed me to understand what I would look like, and helped my makeup artist know what I really wanted and what I liked and didn't like. So on the day of, we didn't have to fuss and mess. She knew exactly what I needed and what I wanted and made it happen. Number 3, how many people can you accommodate in my bridal party on the wedding day? So depending on how many people you need to have their hair and makeup done on your wedding day, be sure that your hair and makeup team can accommodate that in your timeline. They might need to bring on an extra hair or makeup artist to fit you all in, so that's very important to communicate with them from the get-go. Number 4, will you travel to my wedding location or do I need to come to you? Some hair and makeup artists will travel to your venue for hair and makeup on site. Others don't, and you will have to go to their location, whether that be a salon or studio, something like that. So figure out what that process will look like so you can accommodate that for your wedding day timeline. Number 5, what products do you use? Are they cruelty-free and hypoallergenic? Depending on your skin needs or your product preference, this is important to note what kind of products they are using in their hair and makeup kits. Number 6, do you offer touch-up services throughout the day? Are they available to stay present with you on the wedding day for touch-ups if that's something you will need? Or will they provide you with touch-up products that you can use on yourself throughout the day? Questions is for all wedding vendors. So to start off, number 1, clear and simple. Are you available on my wedding date? If they aren't available, then they can't service you. So gotta know if they're free. Number 2, what is your cancellation policy? I've mentioned this before, but it's important to know from all of your vendors. Number 3, how must I pay you? Do you offer payment plans and can I use a credit card? And last but not least, number 4, always sign a contract. If you are not signing a contract to officially book, it's a little sus. So be sure that you're signing a contract, save that contract, reference it if you need it, but that will secure you and give you a peace of mind knowing that your full vendor team is locked in, ready to serve you and bring your big day to life. Okay, so that wraps up all of our important questions to ask wedding vendors as you are beginning to book and bring your wedding day team to life. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me below. I would love to chit chat. Follow along for more wedding tips, planning advice, behind the scenes photo shoots, all that good jazz, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.